Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. In a few moments, we're going to go live from the bridge of SeaDream II, where I'll be joined by our Vice President of Itinerary and Destinations, Mr. Emilio Freeman, as well as our Captain Michael Macleod. And they will try to share with us a little bit of insights on how they do itinerary planning and what's going on board currently. So let's see. And we are using Starlink, by the way. So this is live. We never know how well it's going to work with the connectivity. But so far, we've been very, very lucky. And hopefully, that'll work well today as well. So let's see if we can be joined by Emilio and Captain Michael. Good afternoon, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
Excellent.
Excellent. And where are you currently? Where are you?
Well, Emilio, you better tell them.
We are in the Bermuda Triangle, and you hear about all these things. I was telling my kids about being here, and they said the Bermuda Triangle. And yes, we had a little bit of excitement yesterday. We actually sailed by I'm going to call it a ghost ship. The captain will say something a little bit different, but there was an abandoned ship right next to us.
Yeah. It was a derelict yacht. So we were actually asked by the U.S. Coast Guard on our way to Bermuda to take a look to see if was any distress, because it had been reported, but they hadn't been confirmed. So by the time we got there, there was a U.S. Coast Guard plane circling around us. But it was a little bit eerie. I'm going to say that,
Wow.
But yeah, it's an interesting place to be.
Sounds pretty exciting. But let's take a quick step back. Emilio, you're the head of itinerary planning and destinations at SeaDream. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been in the industry for a long time, longer than some ships have been built, longer than some people that are on board some of these vessels. But in terms of what I do today, I'm going to say a solid 20 years in working with destinations, port agents, tour operators, port authorities. Yes, in a variety of different types of companies. But my favorite is working with SeaDream because of the flexibility that we have with the yachts that we have.
And Captain Michael, you've been with us for, I guess, more than a decade. When did you go to sea? When did you first start to sail on the oceans?
Yeah, my parents threw me out of my house at 16 to go to sea, to go to maritime college. But I haven't looked back ever since. Yeah, it's 10 years with SeaDream, and this is the longest I've been with any company, and there's a big reason for that. It's family orientated, and it's really a nice company to work for.
Huh. So in addition to being on board, obviously, and in the Bermuda Triangle, right now you're located on the bridge, right, of SeaDream II. Is that right?
Yes,
that's right. Yeah, we're just we've got about a mighty 3 knots of wind at the moment, so there's absolutely no wind out here at all. There's a beautiful day. We had some rain showers earlier, but yesterday we had one Norwegian guest on board, just to let you know, Andreas. And yesterday, unfortunately, he got a little bit of a sunburn. So he didn't realize it was so warm down here.
And well, yeah. and this voyage you're going on, where are you headed? Where do you come from? Where?
Well, we started off in Palm Beach, and we're going to Bermuda. Hamilton, Bermuda will be docked right in downtown Hamilton, Bermuda. I was asked where we're going to be, and are we going to be out where the big ships go? No, we are going to be right in the center of town, and then from there we sail onwards. I'll be getting off because I have some other obligations and things that I have to do, but the captain and the team will continue on to Lisbon, Portugal.
So this is kind of a unique transatlantic voyage. I guess starting in the United States and going to Europe, because we normally start in further south.
Yes, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Are people having a good time? Are you guys having fun?
Yeah, for sure. We've got a very good lecturer on board called Dr. Somerville, and he's a meteorologist oceanographer. So perfect for this voyage for sure. And of course, Gareth, activities manager, and Jamie, club director, they're keeping all the guests busy here with quizzes. There's a lot of rivalry happening with quizzes. I'm having to calm people down, to be honest with you. But yeah, they're having a great time. Very relaxing, perfect for if you want to start your autobiography or anything like that.
What's exciting is that tomorrow, when we land and arrive in Hamilton, it'll be our maiden port of call. A maiden port of call for us. SeaDream has never been to Bermuda, and this is our first time there.
And Emilio, you being on the bridge, tell me what are you doing on board? What's the purpose? What's going on?
What are you doing?
I'm working on our future itinerary plans and tweaking some of the plans that we currently have underway. But the key is working on our November, December, and into next year's, November, December of 2025 and working into 2026. We like to be about 30 months out, and that's my goal, to make sure that we are far enough out that guests have enough time to review and decide where they want to go and travel with us. But November, December is the key right now. That'll be announced probably within the coming weeks, and it's back to the Caribbean. But we have a couple of new things and a couple of exciting things that we're going to include in those plans. Thanks to the captain, thanks to our executive hotel manager, Christoph, and some of the other senior officers on board.
Take us a little bit behind the scene, Emilio. When you plan an itinerary, there's so much stuff going on. I mean, you got to plan for food, logistics. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. Like, how do you get started? How does that? Give us a little bit of information here.
That it's as much a science as it is an art, and you look at me and you say, okay, how do I plan them? I can't do it in a vacuum. I need to work with the people that are on the front lines and that can help me tweak it. But things that you take into consideration, yes, you mentioned about food and logistics, but events and seasonality. Captain earlier today was talking about winds with the guests on board, and that is the seasonality becomes a very, very crucial element in our planning. There's places that we want to be that we shouldn't be because of seasonality, or because there might be too many vessels in place. And there's other places where we want to be right in the center of the action. For example, Monaco Grand Prix. We need, as we do future itinerary plans, we always like to know when those special events take place so that we can include them if we choose to, and it matches our profile, choose to include those in our itinerary plans.
What is the key difference, Emilio, when you've been with SeaDream for 5+ years now, and you've also worked with some other companies? What is the difference between a typical SeaDream itinerary and an itinerary you find on maybe a bigger vessel or a different vessel? What are the key differences?
Key differences. I would say there's really two. One is SeaDream has much more flexibility in what we do. A perfect example, and we do this all the time. We go to Jost Van Dyke. We have our beach party there. Other cruise lines might try to get there, but they're too big. They need a lot more infrastructure, so they might create what they call a tour. We don't call them tours. We call them yachting land adventures. They will try to get there via a tour. We are right there. We'll take our tenders or our Zodiacs and come right up on the beach, and we'll stay there longer. We'll stay there longer overnight, that flexibility is also manifested in our itineraries. We don't always tell you exactly where we're going to be each day. Captain may decide, okay, we've got everybody on board, and decide to go to another stop somewhere along the way before we get back on schedule tomorrow morning. So that's one. The other aspect is really with other cruise companies, and I don't want to take away from their plans. Everybody is in this, and everybody tries to be successful, and they are. But there's a lot more repetition in what they do. They'll do, a Miami to San Juan voyage back and forth over and over again, a round trip LA or round trip Rome, and they'll do the same thing throughout the entire season or the entire year. We try to mix it up. There are some ports that we know that are key highlights. We always want to go to St. Bart's. We always want to go to Amalfi. We always want to go to some of the Greek Isle places that are high on our list. But we try to mix them up and not have a repetition week in and week out. We want that flexibility. We want to offer new things to guests so that there's opportunities for back-to-back voyages.
I know you're busy, so I'm not going to take up more of your time. But to both you, to Captain Michael and to Emilio, thank you so much for tuning in here. You have some very nice comments. You should read them later on social media for both of you. But lastly, Emilio, when are we announcing the itineraries you're working on right now?
Well, I will get them, and we'll have a deliverable to you by Friday this week, and then it's up to the marketing team to take that, build it into the system, digest it, and get it out there. And I would say probably within the next 4 weeks, we will be able to announce the balance of 2025.
Great. And I hear rumors you're also working on some secret stuff for 2026, but I guess we're not allowed to go into that just yet. So
you want a hint?
Nope. Well, I think the hint is right here, but maybe hard to read between the lines. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate it, and I wish you a bon voyage for the rest of the trip.
Thank you, Andreas.
All the best.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.